Hello and welcome to Word Nerds, a podcast where we learn and explore common English words through interesting topics and daily life situations. I'm Leela.
And I'm Kai. We're here to boost your vocabulary, your speaking, and your listening skills together.
And today's topic is something I find genuinely fascinating, partly because it explains a lot about my own English journey, and partly because almost nobody talks about it clearly.
We're talking about active and passive vocabulary, what the difference actually is, why the gap between them exists, and what you can do about it.
I'll be honest, I had a huge passive vocabulary for years and had absolutely no idea it had a name. I just thought I was bad at speaking, which, in fairness, I was also a little bad at speaking.
A little.
Thank you, Kai.
But the interesting thing is, the problem wasn't what you thought it was.
No, and that's exactly what we're getting into today.
So let's just say clearly first. What do these words even mean? Passive vocabulary is every word you understand. You read it, you hear it, you know what it means. No effort.
That's my library. Lights off, but the books are all there.
And active vocabulary is the much smaller pile, the words you can actually reach for yourself in real time in a real conversation, without anyone handing them to you first.
So passive is I recognize you. Active is I can call you by name right now without looking.
That's it exactly.
Okay, here's the number that genuinely shocked me when I first read it. For most people, passive vocabulary is 3 to 5 times bigger than active vocabulary.
3 to 5 times.
And not just learners, native speakers too. This isn't an English learner problem, it's a brain problem. In a good way, I mean. It's just how memory works in every language, including the one you grew up speaking.
So even a native English speaker has thousands of words they understand perfectly, but couldn't produce on demand.
Which honestly makes me feel better about my own English journey. The gap isn't proof you're behind. It's proof you're human.
So why does it actually happen? Mechanically, what's going on in there?
This is the part I find very interesting, because once you see it, it's so simple. Recognizing a word and producing a word are two completely different jobs for your brain. But different how exactly?
When you hear or read a word, your brain is matching. The word comes in from outside, and your brain just goes, yes, I have this. Here's the meaning. That's recognition. It's relatively easy because the word is right there in front of you, doing half the work for you.
Like a multiple choice question.
That's a perfect comparison, actually. But producing a word, that's not multiple choice. That's an empty page. Your brain has to generate the word from nothing, choose it, build a sentence around it, and do all of that while someone is literally looking at you, waiting.
No options on the screen, just silence and pressure.
Exactly that feeling. So recognition is find the match. Production is build it yourself live with no help. Completely different muscles.
Have you ever had this? You're mid-sentence, you know the word exists. You can almost feel its shape, and it just won't come out?
Every single day, honestly. It's one of the most universal feelings in language learning.
So if you're listening and thinking, yes, that's exactly my problem, you are extremely normal.
Hold on to that because here's where it gets even more interesting. There's a common assumption about how to fix the gap. What did you always think the answer was?
I thought if I just understand a word more deeply, really sit with it, think about it properly, it would naturally become active on its own, like depth equals access.
That's such a common assumption. And it's half right.
Half?
Thinking deeply about a word does help you remember it. That part is true. There's a name for it, elaborative processing, connecting a new word to something meaningful instead of memorizing it like a phone number. That kind of deep thinking really does make a word stick in memory longer.
Okay, so I was right.
You were right that it helps memory, but here's the part that actually surprised researchers. There was a study comparing two groups. One group studied vocabulary by thinking deeply about each word, connections, associations, meaning. The other group just practiced retrieving the words over and over. No deep thinking involved at all.
And the retrieval group did better.
Significantly better. Not at understanding the words, at actually being able to use them.
So, thinking deeply about a word and being able to say it out loud under pressure are just not the same thing.
Not automatically, no. You can understand a word so beautifully, its history, its feeling, every shade of meaning, and still freeze the moment you try to say it out loud.
That makes so much sense. I had words I could have explained in 3 languages: the history, the feeling, every shade of meaning. And I still froze the moment I had to say them out loud.
Right, because understanding lives in one part of memory, and producing it live under pressure is a separate skill. It has to be trained on its own.
So, depth isn't useless.
Not at all. It's necessary. It builds you a rich, well-organized library. It just doesn't, by itself, teach you how to find the book in 3 seconds while someone is staring at you.
Then what does?
Retrieval, forcing yourself to actually produce the word out loud, ideally about something true and personal, not a textbook example, your actual life.
Okay, this is exactly where our method comes in. We've been building this for the channel, and we call it the word fluency method. It's built directly on everything we just explained. 4 things every time you meet a new word, if you actually want to use it instead of just recognizing it.
Let's walk through it.
Step 1, meaning. But not the dictionary definition, the real communicative function. What is this word actually doing when someone uses it?
Not what does it translate to, but what job does it do?
Exactly. Step 2, and this is the one almost everyone skips, even though I think it's the most powerful one. Contrast it with a word you already use.
Find the synonym already living in your active vocabulary and put them side by side.
Right, because your brain doesn't store words as a flat list, like names in a phone book sitting alone. It stores them in relation to each other, in little neighborhoods. Remember our episode on current?
People still mention it in the comments.
We didn't just explain current by itself. We put it right next to actual and present, words a learner probably already half knows, and showed exactly where they split apart. My current address means the one I use now. My actual address means the real one, not a wrong one, not an outdated one.
Same area of meaning, completely different job.
And once you've felt that contrast, current isn't floating alone in your head, vague and slightly confusing.
It's anchored to something you already own.
That's step 2. Find the neighbor word, learn the border between them. Most learners try to learn words in isolation, like each one is its own little island. But your brain learns boundaries, not islands.
Step 3, grammar. How does this word actually behave in a sentence? Noun, verb, adjective? Does it need a preposition after it? What tense fits naturally around it?
This is the part that trips me up the most, honestly. I can know a word and still build a wrong sentence around it.
Exactly why it's its own step. Knowing what a word means doesn't automatically tell your mouth how to use it correctly in real time. You have to look at the grammar on purpose, or the sentence falls apart even when your vocabulary is right.
And step 4, use it. Today, out loud about something real.
That's the whole engine, isn't it? Steps 1 through 3 build a beautiful, detailed understanding. Step 4 is the one that actually drags the word across the line from passive to active, because it's retrieval, the exact skill we said was a hard one.
Let's make it real. Say I learn the word meticulous today.
Go on.
I don't just learn that it means very careful and detailed. I find its neighbor, careful. And notice meticulous is careful turned up, more intense, more about the small details. I notice the grammar, adjective, usually right before a noun or after is. And then I say one true sentence about my actual day.
Let's hear it.
My boss is meticulous about deadlines.
Is that true?
Painfully true.
Then it's already more active than it was 60 seconds ago.
Okay, I want to pause here because I think some people listening are already a little stressed. Like, wait, am I supposed to do this for every single word I ever learn? 4 steps forever?
No, please no.
This part actually matters a lot, so listen carefully. Don't try to activate your whole vocabulary.
Tell them why, because I know you used to think a bigger, active vocabulary was always the goal.
I did. More active words, always better, right? But that's the trap. Most words are supposed to stay passive, forever. And that's not failure. That's healthy, completely normal. Active words need maintenance. You have to keep using them, or they quietly slide back towards passive.
So if you tried to keep every word you've ever met fully active, instantly available,
You'd spend all your energy maintaining a giant list and none of it on actually communicating, actually living your life in English.
so a big passive vocabulary isn't a problem waiting to be fixed.
It's a resource. It's what lets you read books, watch films without subtitles, follow a fast conversation between native speakers, even when you can't keep up yourself. The goal isn't make everything active. The goal is choosing a small number of words on purpose, words that actually matter for your life, your job, your relationships, and giving those 4 steps to those words specifically.
That should feel like a relief, honestly.
It really does. This isn't a method for memorizing more words. It's a method for choosing better and for actually following through on the one step almost everyone skips, which is saying the word out loud about something real.
Okay, let's bring it together. Passive vocabulary, words you understand. Active vocabulary, words you can produce live under pressure. And the gap between them is normal, not a personal failure. Even native speakers have it.
And the reason the gap exists is that recognizing and producing are 2 different brain jobs. Recognition matches what's already in front of you. Production builds something from nothing.
Understanding a word deeply helps it stick in memory, but it doesn't automatically make it active. Only using it does that.
Which is exactly what the word fluency method targets. Meaning, contrast with a word you already use, grammar, and then the one that actually counts, use it today, out loud, about your actual day.
And you don't do this for every word, just the ones you actually choose.
Just the ones that matter to you.
Okay, let's actually do this right now, not later. Pick one word, maybe from this episode, maybe one that's been sitting in your passive vocabulary for months.
Find its neighbor, the word you already use instead of it. Notice one grammar fact, and then say one true sentence about your actual day.
And then say one true sentence about your actual day, out loud if you can, right now.
And if you want, write that sentence in the comments. I want to see your word, and I want it to become a little more active, just by you typing it here.
Use it or you'll lose it.
Don't skip it.
And I'll see you in the next video.